So everybody is talking about large language models. Now there's this model avalanche that's happening around multimedia. So what's next? There's text, images, sound, and video. Now you might think all this is sci-fi, but it's not. We actually did this in a really cool area, sports entertainment. In fact, we can bind all this together to create this AI highlights system. In fact, how often do nerds win an Emmy Award? Now that I've told you the big picture, I now want to show you how all this works. So imagine you're watching a game. It can be very frustrating because the game is going on and then you join it somewhere in the middle, right? So here's the start and here's the end. As you're watching the game, there's all this text and stats that's being created. Then there's many images and still shots that are coming in about your favorite players. From there, you can hear and listen to the crowd cheer as all these plays are happening. And then there's videos. So all the videos are coming in and they're showing all the action that's happening as the game is progressing. But you joined here, so you've missed all this content. But lucky for you, we have this AI highlight system that's finding all of these different indicators. So let's start with text here. So over on the art side, where we combine art and science together with creativity, I'm going to connect the dots and show you how we take the text, right? We have these feed-forward neural networks that interpret the text, and it has all these different encodings, and it passes it forward into what we call a large language model. And the job of the large language model is to take a prompt or an instruction so it knows what to do, and it produces this novel text. So it can explain what's happening in this action that you're trying to catch up to. Then we go into images. So in images, we have convolutional neural networks. And what these do is it has these convolutions, right, where it takes pixels and it puts them together, makes them smaller into a feature vector, pulls it together, and it feeds it forward, right? And we take all of that and we can use what's called a diffusion model. And now a diffusion model, it's learned how to introduce noise and how to remove noise. But this is how we blend images together. We can take a piece of text and influence what the image comes out and looks like. Now we're on to sound, which we have here. So there's crowd cheer, there's commentator voice that happens, and we want to interpret that. So we have all these building blocks called recurrent neural networks or residual neural networks. And what this does is it pushes forward memory or it pushes back memory to influence the outcomes of what the neural network is trying to predict. And we can take those pieces and build what are called generative adversarial networks, or GANs. And we have a generator that produces the novel sound, and then we have a discriminator, and it wants to discern between what's been produced and what is real. And if it can't discriminate between the two, the algorithm has done its job, right? And now we're off into the video, which is really an emerging field. But I would like to look at what's called LSTMs, or long short-term memories, which is another version, right, of this science part, right? And what the long short-term memory does is it has a memory so it can remember what happened many plays ago, and then it's easier for it to catch you up. But we can take those, LSTMs and create the LVMs, which are large vision models. And these are composed of different encoders and decoders, and you might have attention heads so it knows what to focus in on whenever it's trying to produce a video. Now, you might be wondering, if you play fantasy football, how can all of this help me? Well, if you use and connect the dots together, this can help you win your league and summarize all the content, video, sound, and text about your player so you can see it all at one place. If you're in banking, it could also tell you what stocks are going to boom or bust by just reading all of the different articles about your said stocks. If you're in insurance and you're a claim adjuster, you might want to know about the weather or what's happening in the news cycle so that you can better determine how do you adjust different claims. And this could be force multiplied together with all this multimedia to give you this insightful piece. Now, what I would suggest you do is to get your hands dirty and to touch all of these different types of algorithms, build it, deploy it, right? Because there's many different cloud services of which you can do that today. And I think the sooner you do it, the better, because generative AI on the multimedia space is here for you, and it's just going to grow, and it can help create content and ultimately catch you up in any action that you might have missed. Thanks for watching. Before you leave, please remember to click like and subscribe.